Welcome, everybody, to the Sideline Speaks. He's Kevin Walker. I'm Jason Collins. If you're watching, you see no Brittany Jones tonight. Brittany had to travel, so she couldn't be with us. But we're not going to miss a beat because we've got Shoshana Cook here with us. Shoshana, thank you for joining us. How you doing tonight?
Can't hear you, Shoshana. I can't. Can you hear?
We lost your sound, show. We can't hear you.
Yeah, still without your sound there.
There you go. I think you just unmuted. No. Looks like you're muted. Let me see if we can get you unmuted here. Hang on, ladies and gentlemen. A little technical difficulty. Yeah, I don't know. We lost Show's sound. Show maybe
you there.
No, maybe if you jump out of the studio and then jump back in. Let's try that and see if that works. But K-Walk, anyway, while we're waiting, man, how you doing tonight, bro? What's going on?
All is well, man. A little down for my team in the back, man. Let me down this week, but other than that, Jay, I'm doing well, man. How you doing this evening, my brother?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. We got some good topics to talk about tonight, so it should be a good one. We got Shoshana back. Let's test that sound. Can you hear us now?
Yeah.
No,
can't hear you for some reason or another.
Having an issue for some reason. I don't know what it is. There we go.
Can you hear me now?
There we go. There we go.
There we go.
Welcome
there
to
we
the
go.
show. Welcome to the
show. All right. It was working.
Right. Thank you so much for joining us.
We're good. We definitely appreciate you being on with us tonight. We're gonna have a lot of fun.
Yes.
Let's just jump right into it, guys. Let's jump right into it. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Whoo. And K-Walk knows this. I was on record at the beginning of the year saying that this was it for Tom Brady, that he was going to fall off a cliff, that this was the beginning of the end. I tried to ask the question last week, and Brittany and K-Walk kind of pushed me off, saying, no, it's all right. So I'm bringing it back to the table this week. Show, I'll start with you on this one. What's wrong with the Bucs? And is this the beginning of the end for Tom Brady?
I like Tom Brady. I think he's a phenomenal. Sorry about that. I think he's a phenomenal quarterback, but I think the rumors of his divorce is probably taking a toll on him. For real.
Yeah. And K-Walk, we talked a little bit last week about how sometimes personal issues might not affect you when you're in between the lines, but maybe during the week, preparation, just your all around focus, things like that. What say you, K-Walk? What's wrong with Tampa Bay? Is this the end for Brady, K-Walk? Are you willing to get on that ledge with me?
I don't know if I'm getting on that ledge with you, Jay, but I'm close to opening that window though, to step out on there with you, man, because of the fact of the matter is, man, I just can't pinpoint it, man. I mean, that's what's the way that his demeanor is. I mean, we see constant memes and things of that nature, him slamming helmets and slamming laptops and tablets and things of that nature. And I'm watching this game on Sunday, and I'm like, wow. I mean, there is just something off there, Jay. I don't know what it is, and I guess you have to pinpoint it. When everything's going right, you say it's Tom Brady. So if everything's going wrong, no one's really ready to say it's Tom, because I love that commercial with LeBron and him working out and good fighting Father Time. I think Father Time is starting to catch up to Tom Brady, whether he wants to admit it or not. And Shoshana alluded to, as far as what is going on in his personal life, I think that's starting to play a big part into what is going on as far as the downfall. I don't want to say the downfall, but the disconnect in Tampa Bay right now.
Yeah, man. At the end of the day, football is a young man's game. It just is. And when you're 45 years old, look, this was not a guy to begin with that was real mobile with his legs and things like that. but he is a complete statue right now. Like he can't move at all. So I just think at some point it catches up with you. Like I said, I was on record early saying I think this is the end for Tom Brady, but for me, it raises a little bit of a larger question. And I know this is a little bit off script, but it's just something I was just thinking about. Do we like to see our stars go out this way? Like when you think about a Tom Brady, a Michael Jordan, LeBron's getting closer to the end of his career. Just in general, would you prefer to see your stars go out on top? You know, Jordan hitting that jumper in Utah and then walking away? Or do you still value those times with the Washington Wizards? Like LeBron, he's getting close to the end. Would you rather see him leave now? Or do you want to see LeBron hanging on 4 or 5 years from now? Just in general, Shoshana, how do you like to see your stars go out? On top, or you want to get everything you can out of them?
I like to see him go out on top. I do. I just feel like that's that you paying homage to somebody who loved the sport. But I do feel like sometimes they stay a little bit too long, to where, like in Brady's case, they're not gelling. They're not gelling because he has some issues, some things going on at home. But he could have went out when he went out and stayed out, and he would have been on top. So I do. I like to see him go out on top.
Yeah, I agree. And I think one of the hardest things for an athlete is knowing when to say goodbye. Like I think that's really hard, especially if you perform at a really elite level. I think that's one of the hardest things is knowing when you just have to let it go and not allowing the game to force you to let it go. But K-Walk, Jerry Rice is another one. I know that's your guy. Great with the 49ers, then had some years kind of, you know, with the Raiders and had some other stops along the way. But K-Walk, for you, how do you prefer to see your stars? Would you like them to go out on top, or do you want them to just play as long as they possibly can?
Nah, man, I definitely am with Sean. I want to see them go out on top. I mean, you know, I like Kobe Bryant, just to name it, you know, a guy in basketball. I love the way that John Elway went out. You know, he won 2 and instead he rode off into the sunset. You know, Jerry Rice. And I do like that when he went to the Raiders. That didn't bother me too much. But when he started to hang on too long, you know, going to Seattle, going to Denver, wearing these different numbers, it just didn't look right. And I just felt like, you know, man, don't go out like that. LeBron's going to go out on top. And you know, you can't, you know, he's going to go out on top. He's going to go out a Laker, I think, I hope anyway. But we've seen him, you know, go through so many different teams anyway. So it wouldn't be surprising if he ends up on another team and goes out on that particular team. But as far as Tom goes, I would love to see Tom go out on top. Not everyone could go out on top, but I would love to see them go out, you know, at least with a winning season on a team that they were playing with for the majority of their career. I would love to see that. Tom Brady only played with 2 teams. If he can go out at least in a playoff run, after a playoff run, if he gets eliminated, then call it quits there. But yeah, definitely want to see them go out on top.
Yeah, I don't know. I think for Brady, K-Walk, that ship might have sailed.
Well, yeah. I just love to see it, though. That's why.
The only thing that maybe might work for them is that division's not very good. I mean, I think the Bucks are 3-4, but I think they're still tied for first in the division. So that might be the saving grace that no one else in that division is very good, you know? So that might save them. All right, let's shift gears. Let's talk about America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. My Dallas Cowboys. Talking to Shoshana before the show, she does not like the Cowboys, so we'll kind of see where this goes. But you know, K-Walk, you always say this in the NFL: you are what your record says you are, and the Cowboys are 5-2 right now. Played most of those games without their starting quarterback, Dak Prescott. To me, just sitting back, not just as a Cowboys fan, but just as an observer of football, I think the Cowboys have been very impressive with what they've done. Right. But Shoshana, what say you? What are your thoughts on the Cowboys? How do you feel about them being 5-2 and some of the adversity they've had to overcome?
I don't think there's never been a Cowboy team that has never had adversity. That's just the Cowboys.
Yeah.
They can win the rest of their games. The problem with the Cowboys is that they cannot.
Here it comes.
They cannot finish. So, yeah, you can win. You can be great. They just got to know how to finish. And right now, that's still the monkey on their back. They cannot finish. And yeah. I don't like the Cowgirls. I just do not.
Look, and that's a hard point to argue against because every year you feel like it's the same story with Dallas. Even if they're really good in the regular season, they get to the playoffs, and for one reason or another, it just doesn't happen.
Right.
But Kay Walk, look, I like to live in the present, especially now that I'm rooting for these Cowboys. And you can only play the teams on your schedule. You can only win the games that are in front of you right now. No need to worry about December and January until you get there. Okay, Walk, how impressed are you with the Cowboys being 5-2 right now?
You know what, Jay? Like Shoshana said, I mean, they have a winnable schedule. We've seen that Cooper Rush came in there and held the fort down until that game came back. So I'm more impressed with the Cowboys defense than I am with anything else. To be perfectly honest with you, I know that's part of the Cowboys, it's part of the team, but I'm more impressed with that and Dan Quinn and what he's able to do with that defense and allow him to just focus on getting those guys in the right position. You know what, Jay, man, I just don't know how to put my finger on some of these teams, and the Cowboys is one of those teams I don't know how to put my finger on or what to say about them. But they're 5-2. They're what, third in their division right now behind the Giants. Who saw that coming? But we'll get into that. But I won't say impressed, Jay. Just shocked, really, just surprised. I should say, because when Dak went down, I thought that was their season. I just thought that was their season. So they rode that rush hour, if you will. Dak's back. They got that big win. That they needed. Dak needed that win for sure against the Lions. And going forward, they, like Shoshana said, very winnable schedule though.
Yeah, the schedule sets up really nice for them. And K-Walk, you said the defense, man. And to me, that's something they can at least hang their hat on. Absolutely. I mean, if you can get after the passer, if you can stop the run, I feel like you've got a pretty good chance to win a lot of football games. But let's slide into our confidence level segment here, where I'm going to give you some teams, and I want you guys to tell me your confidence level in these teams. Scale from 1 to 5. 5, you're super confident that they can continue on the path that they're on. Obviously, 1, you don't trust them at all. And let's just keep talking about these Cowboys. On a confidence meter, Shoshana, where do you have the Cowboys 1 through 5? How confident are you that Dallas can keep this up?
I'm at a 4.
Okay.
And I agree with you. It's because their defense they got a nice defense. Parsons is killing it right now. Yes. So I am going to give them a 4 because defense wins games.
Hey, yeah, you're not going to get an argument out of me on that one. Okay, Walk, where are you on this? What's your confidence level in the Cowboys?
You know what, Jay, when we mentioned the defense and we mentioned their schedule. So my confidence level is right there with Shoshana. I'm going to say a 4 as well. But, you still have, I'm giving them a 4, not a 5, because of the fact of the matter is what Shoshana had mentioned a little bit earlier, is that sometimes the Cowboys do get in their own way. Right. She kind of alluded to that. So I'm going to give them a 4 because of that defense, because of their schedule. Can't give them a 5 because they are still that Cowboys team that we've seen in recent past for sure. So 4.
Look, I think a 4 is fair. They're 5-2, but you're right. They do seem to figure out a way to mess it up every year. I do think there's some injury concerns that we have to worry about. And then also Mike McCarthy. I don't think you can overlook some of the bonehead decisions that he's made from the sideline that has hurt this team in years past. So I think for now, a 4 is probably a fair rating for the Cowboys. Let's stay in the division. Let's talk about Brittany's Philadelphia Eagles. They're 6-0 right now. Woo-hoo, Brittany, if you're listening, we're all excited for your Eagles. But what is your confidence level in this team? They're 6-0 right now, but we still got a lot of football left to play. Shoshana, where are you at with the Philadelphia Eagles?
I like the Eagles. I'm not even an Eagle fan, but I like the Eagles. So I am going to give them a 5 because that defense is killing it. They are coming in 2 interceptions at least. a game. So I'm very confident about them. Let's hope they don't prove me wrong.
I'm not mad at the 5, and I understand it. I can't give them a 5. And you're right. You're right about the defense. The defense has been fantastic, getting a lot of turnovers. I'm going to give them a 4 for this reason only. And I know Eagles fans are going to say I'm hating, but I'm really not. Jalen Hurts has played very well. He has. I don't know that I'm 100% confident that I believe he's going to be able to continue to play the way that he has over the first 6 weeks. I'm still waiting to see if he's going to come back to earth a little bit. So because I'm not 100% sold on Hurts, I'm going to give him a 4, K-Walk. But what say you?
Yeah, you know what, Jay? I'm looking at this schedule right now because that's going to play a part in my rating and my confidence level. Their schedule is very favorable, kind of like the Cowboys, So, and they're playing, like Shoshana just mentioned. You mentioned that defense. Jalen Hurts, I think week in and week out, he's getting more comfortable.
Lord.
What y'all talking about?
Oh my goodness.
What y'all talking about?
Who in the heck left the gate open? Yeah, I told you to change the code.
I had your back.
What's up, Brent?
I had to check in on you guys to see what was going on here.
You checked in at a great time. We were just
I heard you talking about the Eagles, talking about I don't believe in them, Jalen Hurts, yada yada. Hi, Shoshana.
Hey baby, how you doing?
Good. You booing them Cowboys for me? Because I know. Thank you. Thank you. I had to come in live and check in because I knew Jay was going to try to diss the Eagles. He's not even a real Cowboys fan.
I gave him a 4 out of 5, Britt. That's pretty good.
All right, okay. I'm not mad there. I'm not mad. I take the 4 out of 5. They still need some work. All right, guys. I just wanted to check in.
Britt. We appreciate it.
I'm in this cold Minneapolis weather right now, so I'm freezing. But go Eagles.
All right,
good stuff, Britt. Appreciate you.
All right, see y'all.
All right.
All right, K-Walk. What say you, man? Where are you at on this?
Yeah, man. I'm at a 4 as well, man. I just think that with again, as I mentioned, with their schedule and the way that everything is set up for them, and Jalen Hurts is getting more comfortable with his play for sure. I'm going to say that I'm going to say a 4 as well, Jay. I am going to say a 4 for sure. I just think they have everything that they need right now, and again, looking at their schedule, they're set up pretty well.
Yeah, and you're right. The point Shoshana made about the defense, I think that's hard to overlook. They do play fantastic defense, and just like the Cowboys, that's going to be able to carry them pretty far. Yeah. Let's stay in the division. The Giants, 6-1, 5-1, 6-1 right now. I think that might be the surprise of the NFL. But Sho, where's your confidence level with the Giants? Can they keep this up?
I think they can. And the reason why I say that is they play until the last whistle. And they have made some plays that you'd be like, oh, they done. And they come out winning with the last few seconds on the clock. I'm not going to give them a 5, but I'll give them like a 4.5.
Okay.
Yeah, 4.5.
It's hard to argue.
They are good. They are shocking some people.
6-1 football team. K-Walk, where are you at with the Giants, man? I know that's home for you. So I know you're locked in with all the Giants chatter. Where are you at on the Giants?
You know what, Jay? I might have to, put the security code, change my security code, and lock the doors on this when I go with this one. But I'm going to say a low 3 here, man, closer to 2 than anything for sure, man, because of the fact that I just don't believe in this team, man. I just think it's false advertisement, and in my opinion, I mean they won. I get it. They're 6-1. Like I always say, your record is what you say, what it says you are. But I don't know, man. I had to say this. They're a very opportunistic team. They do take advantage of a lot of turnovers by the opposition. They don't force turnovers. They take advantage of, self-inflicted wounds by the opposition. But so I can't fault them for that. But I just think looking at their schedule going forward, They have, the Commanders, they have the Giants. I mean, they have the Eagles, they have the Cowboys, the Vikings. It's looking at a few teams. So I'm gonna say a 3, Jay. I just think this team right now is false advertising.
Yeah, look, it's hard to knock them when you're a 6-1 football team. I mean, look, no win is easy in the NFL, so I do think they deserve some credit for that. But I'm kind of with you, K-Walk. I was going to go lower. I was going to give them a 2 just because I just don't believe in them. Like you, I just don't believe in them. And I feel like maybe over the span of 17 games, we're going to find out who this team really is. And I think they're probably a middle of the pack football team. So for me, I'm giving the Giants a 2 on this one. All right. Shoshana, you're going to have to be careful with this one. We don't want to open up any wounds for K-Walk because we're about to talk about the 49ers here. This is a 3-4 football team right now. Came into the season with a lot of expectations. Obviously losing their quarterback really early in the season. Jimmy G is back under center. What is your confidence level in the 49ers? Can they get this thing turned around?
Lord, let me say this. I already know. I already told y'all. I got a lot of friends that be on my timeline talking about bang, bang, Niner gang. And I hate it. But they have made some positive trades that could possibly win things over for them, which is scary in a sense. As much as I don't like them, it's scary because they have some weapons now that could possibly take them to that point. So I'm gonna give them like a 3.5 right now because they still got a lot to prove right now. But they do have some go-getters. They definitely have some.
Absolutely. When you look at the roster, I mean, to me, one of the most talented rosters in the NFL, right? And then you add Christian McCaffrey, and I thought the way that he fit in just a couple of days,
he just gelled right in. Like a couple more games up under him, that's scary. That means my timeline is gonna be crazy.
He looked great after just a couple of days in the system.
He did.
But K-Walk, this is your baby, man. I'm gonna yield to you on this one. 3-4. I know the expectations were high. Where's your confidence level at? Can they get this thing turned around?
Yes, they can get it turned around. To actually your last question first. My confidence level is at a wow, going into Sunday's game, my confidence level was probably at a 4.7. But when I see Jimmy G play and that defense, I just don't know what's wrong with that defense. That defense went from number 2 to like number 32 in the league. So with all that being said, obviously I love the trade. I said at the beginning when we got the trade, or before when the rumors were saying that they were shopping him around, I said if we get him, we're going to the Super Bowl. But then Jimmy G is Jimmy G, man. Jimmy G is Jimmy G, and I'll get into that later. But so with all that being said, Show, I like that number, so I'm gonna go with Show as well. I'm gonna go with 3.5 as of right now. I want to see what they do with the Rams. It might go, obviously, it'll go a little higher, but 3.5 is my confidence level. I can go on and on. I know we're time permitted, but 3.5, Jay. Leave it at that.
Yeah, man. I just feel like Jimmy G, a veteran guy that's been around, he should be able to take better care of the football. Like that one interception he threw in the end zone, that was inexcusable to even throw that ball. So, but you know what, K-Walk?
You want to come out you wanted to go into the TV and be like, "What are you doing?"
What? To go into the TV? Man, that TV almost went into the driveway. I threw that out the window.
K-Walk had to buy a new TV. I guarantee you, Shoshana, K-Walk bought a new TV this weekend. I guarantee.
Hey Jay, I tell you, it's the only time that I ever yelled, "Take the sack, take the sack." It would have been better
at that point. He should have just took it.
Take the sack.
Yeah.
But
you know what? I've always been kind of high on this team, and because, like we talked about, their roster, I still think it's one of the best in the NFL. You got Christian McCaffrey now; he's only going to make them better. I like the coaching staff. I've always said that offensively, they've got one of the best play callers in all of football.
Yeah.
So even though they're 3-4 right now, I still feel pretty good about the 49ers. I'm going to give them a 4 because I think out of a lot of these teams that are 3-4, they've got one of the best chances at maybe turning this thing around. So we're not going to throw in the towel on the 49ers just yet.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
We're going to hold it. We hold it.
We're holding it. We're holding it. We're not going to throw it just yet. Let's do 2 more here. How about the Baltimore Ravens? So much talk about Lamar Jackson coming into the season. Should he sign a contract? Should he not? Just everything surrounding the Ravens. I think they're sitting at 4-3 right now. Show, what's your confidence level in the Ravens?
So I love him as a quarterback, but I think sometimes he makes some crazy decisions. It's like he's trying to force it.
Yeah.
You're down 3, you're trying to force 7 where it's not there. I think they got some cleaning up to do.
Yeah.
I do think that this contract played a big part just on them gelling because everybody was so worried about, are they going to give him an extension and what is it going to be, and don't sign it, all this stuff. I think it factored into them gelling during the off season. So they about a 3 right now because they got some cleaning up to do. Their mistakes is what's costing them, offense and defense. To me, they have some cleaning up to do.
Yeah, no, I feel like you hit that on the head because when I watch the Ravens, I feel like they do things to almost help them lose the game instead of, winning the game. They make mistakes here and there, or they go for it on 4th down when they shouldn't. And it usually just doesn't work out well. So my confidence with them is kind of right there at a 3 as well. I just don't know what I'm going to get from them on a week-to-week basis. But K-Walk, what say you?
Yeah, I have to give them a 3 too, 3 as well. Excuse me. And you when you look at I look at their schedule to see how they can maintain, and they got a big one. I guess you want to call it a big one. I know we talked about Tom Brady, and we don't know what we're going to get from him, but they play them Thursday night. But looking at what Lamar is, he's tapered off a little bit. I think, he's starting to kind of, I don't want to say he's wearing down, but it seems like, his ask, if you will, to carry this team is starting to take a toll on him, in my opinion. I know they brought in, Kenyon Drake there, Dobbins as well to help, solidify that running game. Of course, he has a safety blanket in Mark Andrews. But looking at it right now, they're in first place in the AFC North, surprisingly enough. But you got the Bengals emerging right now. I think the Bengals are starting to get hot right now. They're going to start clicking. But looking at their schedule right now and what they've done, I'm going to give them a 3 as well. I think they're going to be right around. They're going to be hovering right around 500. Well, they can't be 500 anymore, but right above 500 for the most part, or right, like 2 games above 500. Well, you can't be 500, but at the end of the year, you can't be. But nonetheless, I like the Ravens to be a 3 here. I just don't know how much Lamar can carry this team going forward. It's a long season ahead for sure.
Yeah. All right, let's get one more in, guys, before we go to break here. The Green Bay Packers. It just feels like there's a lot of turmoil with this team right now. Aaron Rodgers, another aging quarterback whose play has seemed to diminish. But Joe, where are you at on the Packers?
I'm a 1. And I'm a 1 because I feel like Aaron Rodgers came in having he's playing this game. Okay, I'm not going out there. I don't feel like teaching young kids. Well, you're a veteran. You're a quarterback. Come on. The goal is to win. Even if you don't win like you're used to winning, at least they would know they have a leader. They lost their leader. It's as if he just feel like when this is done, I'm retiring. I don't care.
Yeah.
And they ain't balls that they should be catching, they're not catching. So it's like I don't have no hope in it. I'm not a cheesehead fan. I'm not none of that. But I feel like in order for you to win, you as a quarterback have to have better body language. Your body language tells what how you feel about your team, the confidence that you have in your team. You have none.
Yeah.
So I don't see them turning it around. If they do, shock on me, but I don't see it.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. It just feels like a lot of drama between the quarterback and the head coach, between the quarterback and some of the other players. They're just out of sync. I don't think I'm going to go one, but I'm going to go two. I'm going to go two here. Maybe Rodgers, still obviously really talented, so maybe that's going to account for something down the stretch. But man, K-Walk, I don't feel real good about the Packers. I'm a two.
Yeah, man. Two is right about where I'm going to be at. I know. I'm looking at their schedule. I'm not even looking at their schedule. I'm just looking at what I've seen and what they don't have. Shoshana has alluded to as far as the receivers or lack thereof. And I just think that Aaron Rodgers knows that he just doesn't have that guy to go to. Yeah. I mean, he spreads the ball around. I think that his most reliable guy is around injured right now, and that's an aging Randall Cobb. And he just doesn't have any confidence in any of these receivers. He's doing everything that he can. The defense is doing everything that it can to keep them in the game, but it just doesn't seem like these receivers, Aaron Rodgers and these receivers, can get on the same page. I think Aaron Rodgers needs to take these guys out on a bye week, go to a resort or something like this. Something, I don't know. You have to build some type of chemistry, because he doesn't have chemistry with any of the receivers. Usually a quarterback has his number one receiver. He goes to him constantly. He doesn't have that at all. So I'm going with a two here, man. I just don't have any confidence, and that's sad to say. And I never thought I would say this, but I don't have any confidence in Aaron Rodgers and the Packers.
Yeah, man, you're right. That's surprising to say, especially someone with so much talent, but I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. All right, good stuff, guys. We're going to go ahead and take our first break. When we come back, we're going to talk about if my Penn State Nittany Lions can pull off the upset against Ohio State this weekend. Also, K-Walk, your Florida Gators against Georgia. So we got a couple big college games to talk about. We're also going to slip a little bit of Lakers talk, a little bit of Sixers talk into the conversation as well. You're listening to the Sideline Speaks with Kevin Walker and Shoshana Cook. We'll be right back.
CampLyman.com is an opportunity for my big boys to come get some work. Let's put it all together. We built from the ground up. Our cliche is it all starts up front. Once again, start, stance, hand placement, hand separation, get-offs, counter moves, a little bit of everything. Polish up those skills before your middle school or high school season began. Just come work on your craft. Once again, CampLyman.com.
You're inside Never Had It So Good Sports Radio with Princess Cooper, Tim Moore, David the Duck Riley, Jason Collins, Shoshana Cook, Brittany Jones, Travis McGee, Eric Scott, and Kevin Walker. We make it easy to talk sports.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the Sideline Speaks with Jason Collins, Kevin Walker, and Shoshana Cook tonight, filling in for Brittany Jones. Let's talk a little college football, guys. My Penn State Nittany Lions playing Ohio State this weekend, the number 2 team in the country. Ohio State's super talented. I mean, it's ridiculous, the stockpile of talent that they have on that roster. Last time Penn State had a big game couple weeks ago against Michigan, it did not go well. Got completely bullied in that game, but this one is at home. Going to be 110,000 fans in the stands. K-Walk, what say you? Can my Nittany Lions get it done this weekend?
Jay, I love you, brother. I've known you for over 30 years, man, and this is a tough one, man. This is a tough one for the Nittany Lions. I mean, I think the Ohio State Buckeyes, C.J. Stroud, Ryan Day, Marvin Harrison Jr. The list just goes on and on with that crew, man. That receiving core is one of the best receiving cores I've seen in a long time, and that's saying something. Even losing Chris Olave last year to the Saints this year in the draft, it's going to be a tough one, Jay. But you know what? You're at home, like you mentioned, 110,000 fans there. It's going to be I can't, a heart of a lion. I'm going to say we're going to see the heart of a lion. We're definitely James Franklin's going to have those guys ready to play. Your defensive coordinator, I can't think of his name. Diaz, right?
Manny Diaz.
Diaz.
Manny Diaz.
He's right now, Jay. He's planning and he's planning and he's planning. This is going to be hard, man, to see how they're going to slow this thing down. I don't think they can stop them, but they will do their best to slow them down. But I have to go with the Ohio State Buckeyes here, Jay. Nothing against your Lions, Nittany Lions. I just think that this team right now is just well oiled right now, and C.J. Stroud is looking to bounce back. I think he had a subpar game last week, but I'm going with the Ohio State Buckeyes for sure, Jay.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. For a minute there, I thought you were going the other way. Did you see how he was building me up, Sean? And then he went the other way on me. But what say you, Shoshana? What do you think about this Penn State-Ohio State game?
Listen, Penn State, yes, it's going to be sold out. Y'all going to have a lot of fun. But I'm CJ Stroud all day. That's a Cali kid. And he is a hell of a quarterback. Now, does it mean that when they get there, they won't have to adjust to the noise? Because it is going to be loud. But at the end of the day, when he gets settled and gets his wide receivers going, it's a done deal. I do hope that Penn State, stay in the game. But it's going Ohio State all day. But I do hope Penn State sees this as an opportunity to play 4 quarters.
Yeah. Look, that's hard to argue. The only thing I'll say about Penn State is I think Michigan is a bad matchup for Penn State. They're just so big and so physical on the offensive defensive lines. Yeah. I think Penn State matches up a little better against Ohio State, but I still don't think it's going to be enough. I'd be a fool to sit up here and tell you that I think Penn State's going to win that game. I'm not going to do that. So I just hope it's competitive. I hope we keep it close. I hope it's entertaining. But I think when it's all said and done, Ohio State is just too good. I think they're better than Penn State at every single position. Yeah. Quarterback, receivers, offensive line, running backs. You go on the defensive side of the ball. I feel like it's the same thing. I think they're better at every position. Maybe the secondary. Be has a pretty good secondary, but other than that, so it's going to be a tough ask for Penn State to get it done. I just hope they don't get embarrassed. Be competitive, play hard, but I think the Buckeyes get out of there with the win. Let's talk Georgia, Florida, classic SEC matchup. Georgia's been phenomenal all year. To me, they've been the best team in the country all year. Florida's been a little bit up and down, but you know how these games can go. You know how these rivalry games can go. Shoshana K-Walk is a Gator fan through and through, so I'm going to save him for last. How do you see this one playing out?
This is one of the best rivalries.
Yes.
Like they always been a rivalry that could go either way. But I'm sorry, Kev. It's not going your way this time. Florida is starting over. They're starting to build back up. So they don't even have the players, and it's no dig to the players that's out there playing. They don't even have the players that would be on the caliber right now of Georgia. They're demolishing teams that they're playing, and all you can do is the same thing I said about Penn State is your kids got to go. Those athletes need to go out there and give 4 quarters.
Yeah.
Play hard. Don't just lie down and take because who you're playing. Sometimes teams feel like, oh, we're playing this team and they're killing teams 55-0, and they don't really give their all. Just play 4 quarters. You never know what could happen. But I just think because Florida is rebuilding, they have a ways to go to where they're there to where it could be a true rival game.
Yeah, good stuff there. And to me, it feels like similar to Ohio State and Penn State. If I start breaking this thing down position by position, it's hard pressed to find somewhere where I say, oh, Florida's better at this position than Georgia. But K-Walk, I know you're locked in, man. If there's something the Gators have, you know what it is. So talk to me, man. Can they pull this thing off?
I can't see it, Jay. I'm searching in my bag, man. I'm thinking, I'm just challenge my inner Michael Irvin and try to come out with a game time speech or something to get you riled up. I just it'll probably get you going for the kickoff and maybe for the first series. But after that, I just see the Bulldogs just being the Bulldogs, being the number one team in the country.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to say that, man, but there was promise. It was such promise in the beginning of this, in the first game with the Florida Gators when they beat number 7 ranked at the time, Utah. But right now, I just can't see it in them, man. I don't see them playing up to that part. You mentioned everything about them as far as position by position. I just don't see them matching up. I'm glad it's in a neutral site. It's not in the swamp. It's always played in a neutral site in Jacksonville. Yeah. So you're going to have half Gators fans, half Bulldog fans. But I think you're going to see maybe a first quarter. You're going to see some tremendous play. I hope Miller on the defensive side can come to play, give them a spark on the defensive side, and also Anthony Richardson on the offensive side as well. Hopefully, he can spark them just to keep them in the game in the beginning, give him some hope, maybe build some confidence, and then maybe that can trickle on down the rest of the game. But overall, I got the game. I mean, I got the Bulldogs just being the number one team in the country, playing against, like Shoshana said, a rebuilding Florida Gator program.
Yeah, man. Common sense says Georgia wins this game. Yeah. Maybe the only caveat is that it's a big rivalry game, and we've kind of seen teams play up to another level in these games. So you maybe give them a puncher's chance, maybe. Yeah. But I think common sense says Georgia gets out of there with the win. All right, let's shift gears. Let's talk a little bit of NBA before we get out of here. The Lakers 0-3. LeBron, AD, Russell Westbrook has been a complete mess. I mean, a lot of people are talking about him. I mean, shot selection. I mean, the whole thing just feels like a mess to me. But Sho, you're on the West Coast. I mean, so you're probably a little bit more locked in on this than most people. What's wrong with the Lakers, Shoshana?
I personally, if you watch it, like even when you're watching First Take, if you watch it, they are not together. They're on the side talking. Westbrook is on the other side. Nothing. So I just think it's something going on within them to where it's not gelling to where you guys can at least win one game. Right. I do respect the fact that you don't really hear LeBron saying anything bad about Westbrook, because I feel like that's what you're supposed to do as a team player. You don't break them down in front of the press, because that's what everybody wants you to do. Yeah. And sometimes that could be something that helped build you guys, but they got to come together. Like it's veterans on this team. It's not like it's new, fresh meat on the team. These are veterans. Why can't you guys collectively come together? But they do say, when you get people who've been stars just on other teams just by themselves, it is really hard for them to come collectively together and build an empire.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. You can look at the body language. You can look at the way they interact with each other, and you can tell that something is just not right with them, just from a personality. It almost looks like they don't like each other to me. Right. And then on top of that, I don't know that this team is built really well. Like, when you have a LeBron, you want to have guys that can shoot the 3-ball, and I think they're shooting 20% from 3-point line. So I don't know that the team is built well either. But K-Walk, what have been your observations, man? What's wrong in LA?
Yeah, just everything that you guys just touched on. I just think, and on top of that, there's no passion there. There's no energy. They just come in there and they're saying, "Listen, I'm just coming here to collect my paycheck and to earn my paycheck," and that's it. I watched the 3 games, the majority of the 3 games, and it's been the same thing. I mean, if you watched the first game, but you didn't watch the third game, you're going to get the same thing. You're not going to miss anything from the other 2 games. There's no chemistry, man. Like you guys mentioned, there's no chemistry. There's no willingness to build that chemistry, to build any type of camaraderie, if you will. They're just going out there to, like as Shoshana alluded to, just to be individuals. They just want to just say, okay, I'm LeBron. I get 30 and 10 and what have you. And then Westbrook, who used to be known as he wake up in the middle of the night and he walks into a triple double. AD, he had a scare the other night with that back injury, but he's back in there. Other than that, man, you're not really getting anything from these guys, man. You're not getting anything. Darwin Ham. He's doing his best to bring this thing together. The new head coach there. You're just going to get the same old thing, man. And I just don't know what you can do. If you're not going to trade AD, or if you're not going to trade LeBron, there's not much you can give up to get some better quality in there, or picks or what have you. I don't know what their mindset is or what their goal is, because I know you coming in here and you say, listen, if we're at this point, if we're at this record at this point of the season, we're gonna start thinking about revamping this thing. And right now, I don't know where their thinking is, but there's no life there right now, in La La Land, if you will.
Yeah, and we've all kind of outlined everything that's wrong in LA, but Sho, is there a solution? Do you consider trading Westbrook? Do you consider trading AD possibly? What do you do to try to get this train back on the tracks?
Well, let me just say this. Trading Westbrook, what if that don't change anything? Right. If you do make a trade, make a trade where somebody's going to come in and make something happen. I don't think Westbrook is the problem. I think it's just all of them collectively that is the problem. And like Kevin said, they act like they don't like each other. Well, that by itself, you're not playing for the brotherhood, because y'all don't like y'all body language is showing that, like, you just want to be here so you don't get fined. At this point.
Marshawn Lynch.
At this point. So I don't even know if trading will do anything. I think I read something that they said even if they trade Westbrook, I don't even think it's gonna resolve anything. Like, do you guys really want this win, or you don't? Like, that's where you're at this point. You're making a lot of money and you guys can't get one measly win. You be 1-2 points away from one win.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, no, I feel like Westbrook has been the scapegoat for a lot of things, but there's plenty of blame to go around for sure. Yeah. But K-Walk, let me ask you about LeBron, man, because we've seen LeBron kind of carry teams in the past. Some of those Cleveland teams, not great rosters, but he was just so good that he could overcome it. Does LeBron still have that in him? Is he still good enough to take a bad team and lift them kind of out of the gutter? What say you about where LeBron is, and is he still able to do some of the things that we've seen him do in the past?
You know what, Jay? He has a skill set. I just think his age is catching up to him, man. I think we're going to start putting him in that category as Tom Brady, where as much as they do with their bodies and keep them in shape, things of that nature, it's still, we're talking about father time, and that's catching up to both of them right now. And LeBron's still in great shape. He's still a great athlete. Don't get me wrong. I don't think I think he can still do it, Jay, but I just don't think he has the guys around him who's willing to follow him. To that next level, even though you have a Westbrook, even though you have an AD, I think they're tired of seeing, reading the same book, watching the same movie, if you will. There's just nothing there. You can change, you can watch it on a different channel. It's still going to be the same movie. The outcome is still going to be the same. And I just don't think, I think he can still do it, Jay, but I just don't think he can do it with this particular set of role players, if you will, with this cast and crew.
Yeah, I think it's hard when you don't have shooters to space the floor. He's not as quick as he used to be, like first step. And then when you don't shoot the ball like super consistently from the outside, like it's hard to start manufacturing points, so it'll be interesting. The good thing is, look, they've played 3 games. They got a long way to go.
Exactly. They got a long run. I'll be a long schedule.
They can get this thing fixed. All right, let's jump all the way over to the East Coast, and I hope Brittany's still listening. The Sixers started 0-3. I think they did win last night, so they're now 1-3.
They won last night,
but they did not look good the first 3 games. I hope they lose every single game. No, I'm just messing with you, Britt. I'm just messing. Brittany thinks I hate all Philly teams, but should they be worried in Philly, or do you think they can kind of get this thing turned around?
I think they have a chance of getting it turned around. Harden needs to be the leader. You know, they have, to me, I feel more, and I'm a Cali girl, but I feel that they have a better chance right now than the Lakers because they're showing that they're trying to work on mistakes that they've made in the 3 losses that they had. So I do feel like they have a chance. Harden just has to come out and be the team leader. Like I said, sometimes it just seems like sometimes as players, you forget that you still, if you've been the one that lead, you're going to have to consistently continue to lead, even when you don't want to.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I agree with you. I do think they're in a better place than the Lakers are for sure. But K-Walk, I've said it before. I just don't like Harden's game. I think he dribbles too much. I think he holds the ball too late into the shot clock, and then they end up not getting a great shot offensively. But what say you? I don't know how much of the Sixers you've watched, but this 1-3 start, should they panic, or is everything good in Philly? What say you?
Yeah, I did get a chance to watch all 4 of their games, to be honest with you, for the most part. I just don't think they're going about it the right way. I just think they have to go through Embiid, man. I think we say this time and time again. I think anytime you have a big man like Embiid, you have to go inside. You have to work the ball inside out. They have shooters. They have Tyrese Maxey. We know what Harden can do. They have Tobias Harris as well. So they have shooters that if the opposition does collapse on Embiid, he can get that out. And if they don't want to shoot it, they can create off the dribble as well. So is it concern? Yeah, Jay, because they win last night was against the Pacers. I mean, the Pacers, we're talking about the Pacers. That's not something to write home to mom about, to be honest with you. So, but they did lose a couple of top-notch teams there. So I'm saying right now that there is a level of concern that should be addressed because of the fact, should be brought up because of the fact of the matter is, I think that they're going about it the wrong way, is making James Harden their main guy. If they continue to do that, it's going to be a long season for the Sixers. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's going to be fun to watch. Same thing we said about the Lakers. They got a long way to go. Hopefully they can get it figured out. But the East is so deep. Like, you don't want to string too many losses together because then you find yourself sitting in the basement. But we'll keep an eye on it. Let's we've kind of reached that point of the show, guys, where we come to our rant segment, where you're going to get 1 minute just to kind of get some things off your chest. If there's a sports topic that's bothering you, if there's a player, a team, a coach that you need to let loose on, now is your time. Now is your time. K-Walk, I think I'm going to start with you today on the rant. Wow. I got a feeling I know where you might be going with this one. You only get 1 minute, K-Walk, so I got to stop you once you hit that 1 minute.
I know, Jay. I know.
The floor is yours, K-Walk. Take it away.
All right. My rant this evening, ladies and gentlemen, goes out to number 10 from the San Francisco 49ers. That is Jimmy Garoppolo. All right, Jimmy Garoppolo, man, we've laid out nothing but the best for you. You have the greatest toys out there, arguably the best weapons out there. You have Debo, you have Kittle, you have, you have Ayuk, now you have Juice, and now you have McCaffrey, arguably the best running back in the game. And you still mess it up, man. Listen, like Ayuk said, on the other day, is like, listen, we have too many weapons. We have too many good guys for us to not score, only score 23 points. I say this week in and week out, I don't care what team we play, 30 points has to be the minimum that you put on the board, brother. 30 minutes. make those plays, read the defense, man. Trust your offensive line. Get the balls out to the offense, get to your weapons. You don't have to do anything special. Just dunk it down. Let them do their thing. You know, you got the best yak guys in the game. Just dunk it down. Let them do their thing, Jimmy G. Just put the ball in their hands and let them do their thing, man. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. And Kyle Shanahan cannot simplify it for you any more than that, bro.
Yeah.
All right. Woo. Okay, Walk, you got that out. I love it, man.
He's a little angry.
Jimmy G is on notice. Jimmy G is definitely on notice. All right, Shoshana. I don't know where you're going with this. I know your Steelers are having a rough go. Maybe you're going to go in that direction. Who knows? But the floor is yours. Get it off your chest. Whatever's on your heart. Take it away.
Okay, look. I'm a Steeler girl at heart. Love her. When we high, when we low. Right now, we low. We suck. I didn't put in a call to Mike Tomlin because I'm trying to figure out why we didn't draft Willis. Like, why? Why did we draft Kenny? Like, come on. Our defense, come on, man. Like, we are playing like we are Pee-wee. We are not Pee-wee. My last rant, I ain't even going a whole minute because my stuff is quick. But my last rant, oh, I'm sorry, Kevin. But you 49er fans, friends of mine, I'm sick of this bang bang Niner game. I'm so happy that I ain't had to hear that on my timeline. So happy. Y'all got some heat. I'm not saying y'all don't. I'm giving y'all just do. But I'm tired of hearing it. Bang, bang, Niner game. That's it.
All right, good stuff. Good stuff. You know what? This might be Mike Tomlin's first losing season. It definitely looks like it's headed in that direction for sure. So that was good stuff. I'm probably not going to take a full minute here, but I do want to pay homage to Brittany Jones since she's not here. I want to rant about her Philadelphia 76ers. Because they're 1-3 right now, and they look pretty bad. K-Walk, you said it. They beat the hapless Indiana Pacers. Other than that, they look like a basketball team that is just in disarray. Philly fans, Philadelphia Sixers fans, Brittany Jones, your team needs to get it together. James Harden is not that guy anymore. Run your offense through Joel Embiid. It's going to be a long year in Philly. Write it down. I'm calling it early. It's going to be a long year in Philly. I hope Brittany's still listening, guys. I hope she's still listening.
She's going to pop in.
I know she's probably going to pop up on us here. All right, guys. Before we get out of here, we love to do our Who's Ballin' segment. That's when we just recognize a coach, a player, a team, an organization, anyone you want who you feel like has just been doing an absolute great job, who's been playing great, who's just been flat out balling. So, K-Walk, who you got this week? Who's balling?
This week I'm gonna go with the running back from the LA Chargers. And that's Austin Eckler, man. Heck of a game there, man. There were so many that I could have went with, but this guy, man, I think he only had like 31 yards rushing, but he does an outstanding job out of the backfield catching the ball. He scored a touchdown, rushing, and he scored a couple touchdowns passing as well. This guy is might be the most underrated player in the league, not just at his position, but I'm talking about all positions. Guys, if he can stay healthy, he can continue. He's consistent. If you look at his stats, if you go back, he's very consistent there, especially the last 2 weeks. Outstanding job. So right now, this week, I'm going with Austin Eckler from the Los Angeles Chargers. He is balling.
All right, good stuff, K-Walk. I think I'm going to go with the New York Giants as an organization. They're 6-1 right now. I don't think anyone would have called that at the beginning of the season. Saquon Barkley has reemerged. He looks like that running back that everybody thought he was going to be coming out of Penn State. They're playing good, winnable football. So I think you got to give the Giants a lot of credit. Right now, after 6 games, they are absolutely balling. Shoshana, where are you going with this one?
I am going to give it to the Philadelphia Eagles defense. Because number 2 And number 25, they are killing it. And I am not even an Eagle fan, but you gotta give that props to those who are out there balling. And number 2 and 25, they balling.
You know you got them this week, right? You know you're playing them this week. Okay. Keystone State battle right now.
I can't argue with it. I can't. I mean, that's a great call. They are balling for sure. All right, guys, let's get ready to get out of here. Before we do, K-Walk, let the people know where they can find you on social media, and if there's anything this week, man, sports-wise, that you're looking forward to.
Yeah, this week, man, my Yankees were embarrassed, so I'm not looking forward to any baseball this week. It's going to be tough for me.
I didn't want to bring it up.
The World Series. The World Series is going to be tough for me to watch because one, I do not like Philly fans, and two, I do not like Houston Astro players. So it's going to be tough for me to watch. I'll catch it on my Bleacher Report when I get that update as far as who won. I don't care about that series, but I will be watching some basketball, getting in tune with that. Start watching that, getting more in depth in that. Thursday night we got a good one there for sure. And then, of course, we talked about the Penn State, Ohio State game in Florida and Georgia. Looking forward to that. As far as where you can catch me on IG, Kevin.Walker142, Twitter at KevinWalker142, Facebook. We're live right now, ladies and gentlemen. So appreciate you guys watching. And TikTok, Kevin Walker. Kevin Walker 72. I don't have anything posted yet, ladies and gentlemen. I keep saying it week in and week out. One day soon, I'll surprise you guys.
We're still waiting. We're still waiting, K-Walk. Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. I'm looking forward to watching some NBA this week, and then obviously some great college football games this weekend. You guys can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Jason Talk Sports. So check me out there. Shoshana, what about you? What can you tell us?
This week, I took a hiatus from the Life of a Sports Mom podcast, but I will be back in January, and that show is every Monday night. Tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I am doing my podcast with Daniel Terry, and it's called Let's Bring It to the Table. You can find me on Twitter at Sports Mom on the Go. And this week I will be watching college football starting Thursday when my son team plays NC State. So I am a football fanatic, so I will probably be stuck in the TV from Thursday to Sunday.
Yep, we're right there with you. We are right there with you for sure. All right, good stuff tonight, guys. That was a lot of fun. If you're watching on YouTube, we certainly appreciate you watching and listening. Go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe. We definitely appreciate your support. And we will be back here next Tuesday, 7 p.m. live for the Sideline Speaks. For Shoshana Cook and Kevin Walker, I am Jason Collins. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, show. All right, good stuff, K-Walk. That was good, man.